Welcome everybody to the third installment of talking about critics who lose their fucking shit about the Mario movie. Isn't that great? We got a whole new one, and you think, oh, it's gonna be repetitive? No, this guy's wrong on a whole different level, in not only more wrong than the other ones, but he's wrong in a more stupid way, and it's gonna be so good, and we're gonna go on such a journey together, and we're gonna be shitting on EmpLemon today. Oh my god.
2 weeks ago at the Creator Clash, I and a party of several other YouTubers went to watch the Mario movie, and I'm fired up. I must say this, Kino, the critics, they're wrong. They're wrong about this.
What did he say?
Mediocre compatriots after this movie trying to justify to me that, oh, it's not that bad. No, the critics were not harsh enough. The Mario movie.
Okay, so we start off with saying his friends made him watch the movie, and it was mediocre, but it was also a terrible piece of shit that needs to be made an example of, which is, in my mind, not compatible. Like, mediocre and crap are two different things. Like, mediocre, I don't know, you could probably say like a 4 out of 10 is mediocre, and a 6 out of 10 could also be mediocre still, but it's definitely not a bad. It's definitely not like 3 out of 10 or whatever. Okay, so Kino told me, like, he was, well, I think he was kind of positive on the movie, but as you see here, he's just getting peer pressure to lower and lower his opinion by this green freak, this crustache having guy here, okay? It's just crazy. He starts off, yeah, it's not bad, it's okay for children, Kino says, and then later on he's like, it's mediocre, it's unimaginative, clearly it can't hold water to the masterpiece that is Wall-E, and Watership Down, God, could you imagine? Like, edgy movies, Right. So, Kino Corner, you're failing me here, okay? You're supposed to stand up for truth in movies, but you're buckling under the pressure here. You're just seeing this guy. He didn't like that movie. Maybe I'll adjust my opinion downwards, okay? Bad choice, Kino Corner. Do better, okay?
Not quite on that level. I thought it was like just a meh movie. Like, I didn't think much of it.
Oh, a meh movie, huh? You go from not bad to a meh movie. Yeah, great job holding your opinion there. Good job. Nice job wearing the pants in this situation here. Yeah. Guess the guy with the shorts had more ambition here.
After leaving it, I honestly kind of forgot a lot of what happened, and I totally get that. Like, the whole movie essentially is like an advertisement for all the different Mario-related products.
Yeah, when I watch a movie, I definitely want to watch an ad for my $12 movie ticket. I want to.
You motherfucker! He told me it was not bad, and now you're saying, oh, it's an ad. Whatever. Enough of this banter. Let's see until they get to some actual criticism.
I'm so tired of people giving movies pass because they put in a reference. Oh, they had the Tanuki tail for Mario 3. I'm such a nerdy, geeky gamer, forgetting that they put in the Tanuki tail.
Yeah, I got the Funko Pops.
Yes.
I mean, there's more to this movie than just references. You being a fucking asshole. Yeah, I'm not gonna engage with this anymore. It's got references in it. That's not enough. Like, just ignore the references if you're gonna be such a baby about it. Jesus. Whatever. Let's hear something that's not about references, okay? Like, Jesus, imagine that it's got references in it when it's a Mario movie. Big surprise. Let's talk about substance here.
I tried to do the gag of drinking Soylent at the Mario movie. That was my whole idea. Couldn't find any, but whatever. I got my dose of soy anyway.
So stupid, so lame. What are these jokes? Fucking, wow, he would have drunk soy at the Mario movie. Brilliant fucking social commentary there. You're so great. Oh my god. Anything that's actually about the movie, please.
Like, Marvel dorks gave, like, Martin Scorsese, right, a lot of flack for saying how movies these days are designed like roller coasters.
Yeah.
But this is not even like a roller coaster, because I didn't find it exciting at all. This was like It's a Small World, where it's slowly taking you through on a conveyor belt past all the familiar sights and sounds, and it's just like point A to point B.
Yeah.
There's no subversive anything. There's no like, they didn't do anything
needed to get
unique
Rian
with the
Johnson
source
to direct.
material. Like to give a point of comparison for all these people saying, "Oh, it's for kids. You got to give it a pass." So like, Wreck-It Ralph actually told like a compelling story about video games, and they used elements of video games and made it into an interesting plot. And they used licensed video game characters, although Ralph was an original character creation. When I see something adapted, I don't want to just have it be reminded of a visual diarrhea of all the sights and sounds from the games that everyone's already played. I want you to do something new. I want you to do something interesting with the characters and not just have it like, it's Mario, it's Luigi, it's Peach, it's Bowser. Remember all the characters from the games? No. I'm just so sick of movies that just the pandering and nostalgia and just having familiar sights and sounds and references to get the monkey brain audience to go, oh, look at this great is the thing I recognize, it's the Hammer Bro. Who knows about the Hammer Bro? I do. I recognize it.
Yeah, so sorry that we got Bowser in the Mario movie. So fucking stupid. So you want subversive? Like, Wreck-It Ralph wasn't that good. I like Wreck-It Ralph, but it wasn't as good as the Mario movie. I'm sorry. Like, your wants, they don't stack up to a better movie. Like, Mario movie is definitely better than Wreck-It Ralph. Sorry, checkmate.
Just because it's my childhood whimsical. No, it's time to leave Neverland. Nintendo people, eat your heart out. You can eat your heart out listening to me right now, just like how I had to suffer through the slop that you people have made tolerable. You people go 96% audience score. Oh, it's great. I definitely knew to trust the audience score from Rise of Skywalker. You guys definitely know what you're talking about more than the critics. Normie Nintendo Joe.
Yeah, I mean, I'll probably watch Rise of Skywalker over fucking garbage that critics like. Think Skinamarink. No fucking way. Like, yeah, I'm sorry that we like things. It must be real tough on you, huh? Just, oh god, if only we had more YouTube poops in those movies, huh? Oh, if only that would have been what we see. God.
Knows more than professionally paid critics. Who they got it wrong, too. They didn't go hard enough, but they were a hell of a lot closer to the truth about this movie than any of you Soylent drinking, Funko Pop consuming, Nintendo fanboy losers.
I think it really just comes...
I mean, you don't have to be a fanboy to enjoy the Mario movie. Like, critics are uniquely too stupid to enjoy it. But okay, let's see what actually smart things you have to... Okay, no, he's not gonna have smart... Okay, heard this before, but there's more here. There's more here that's interesting that he says. Let's find out.
Did we really need to tell the story in cinema of Bowser kidnapping Princess Peach again and Mario having to rescue her? Wouldn't it have been nice to like tell, I don't know, something a little bit more original? Everyone knows the story of Mario.
What if, like, maybe the story should have been that Peach is actually in love with Bowser, and Mario is like this weird, like, stalker guy and obsessed with her, and
that
he's
would have
like
been better. That would have been something.
Yeah.
That would have at least taken the formula and turned it on its head a bit.
This is literally the dumbest thing that you could possibly say, really. Oh wow, if only they had turned Mario into a bad guy stalker. Wow, that would have been, clearly, that would have been better. Wow, yeah, that would have been what the people expect from the Mario. Jesus Christ, dude. It's honestly so fucking stupid. You say you don't want to have the story told again of Super Mario where the princess gets kidnapped. How stupid do you have to be? Obviously, that's gonna be in the Super Mario movie. Jesus Christ, we've not had this in cinema yet. No. Yeah, I'm sorry. Like, you are literally the dumbest person in the world. It's like if you watch the Lord of the Rings movie and you're saying, we didn't need to see this whole story again. It's so cliche. Like, why didn't you think of something else? No, you knew what this was. You are so stupid. Like, I cannot believe that you would be surprised that they adhere to the source material. That is literally blowing my mind right now. They adhere to the source material? They didn't subvert it? Are you fucking kidding me, dude? Obviously, they would adhere to the source material. Fuck me, that's so stupid. Oh my god. Yeah, literally anything is better, right? Literally anything is better than you choosing a movie and then the movie having what you'd expect from it in the movie. Wow, that is fucking so dumb, man. You could have just watched any other fucking movie. Jesus Christ. Well, at least now you know, okay? Now you know that your choice in movies is so incompatible with general audiences that you might as well just do whatever the fuck you like and not expect anyone to agree with you. Fucking Mario becoming a stalker. Wow. Welcome, everybody. This is the Super Mario movie where Mario becomes a stalker. Haha. Great. Zero fucking IQ.
Rather than just.
But it's not. You're not going to do that.
Everyone already knows.
You're not going to do that in like a G or PG rated like kids film though.
But I mean, like Wreck-It Ralph told a good story that was like pertinent to like conceptually the idea of video games, and that was like G. That was PG.
Yeah, it was PG. Yeah.
I don't.
Yeah, Ralph was the bad guy. They specifically made him for that. Imagine that. They told that story in the trailer. They said, "Oh look, it's Ralph. He's a bad guy, but he's gonna go on a journey on self-discovery." You saw that. You bought the ticket, and the movie delivered what it said it would. And you saw the Super Mario movie, and you're surprised that it delivered Super Mario to you. Whatever.
I want to hear these excuses about it's for kids, so it has to be the most threadbare, like, pointless plot of all.
I mean, I guess you can wait for the Bowser movie. I guess that'll be your big subversive masterpiece. You'll just have to wait, and you'll have to look at the movies to find out what they tell you. Like, this is not a surprise. Whatever, let's go.
No, I'm just saying that you're not going to have, like, the main character be, like, a psycho stalker.
Yeah, he gets it. He's EmpLemon.
In a kid's film. But, you know, like...
EmpLemon is shocked. You're not going to have the main character be a psycho stalker. Okay, whatever, let's see.
It would have been better if they did that.
Yeah, clearly that would have been superior, yes. Oh, I expect something to be completely fucked up every time. Otherwise, I'll be pissed.
Might have been better. But, you know.
I'm tired. I'm just so tired.
Oh, yeah, might have been. He agrees to... Kino, you just made a point, and now you're backpedaling immediately. It's like, oh, yeah, no, clearly that would have been better. Yeah, jeez, whatever. No, that was stupid. I know this was a stupid joke. I'll stop taking it serious now.
Mediocrity to me is worse than a film like trying something ambitious and then failing in execution. I would rather watch like a bad movie. Like I'd rather watch like something like The Room than just like complete mediocre sludge that makes me feel nothing.
Well, I think that to get...
And that is the main reason why I made this video. This statement right here. He prefers a truly awful movie like The Room over a mediocre movie. Like if you think if a normal person sees a mediocre movie, that day isn't ruined. It's not offensively bad. But if I pay money to see The Room, my day is ruined, okay? I'm sorry. And you're just like, oh, I'm so evolved. Oh, I've seen so many movies. I am just so bored with movies that just do a good job. We can't have good movies that just do a good job, okay? We need to have terrible movies. We need to have movies that take disastrous risks, okay? That's the only way that he can fucking get his adrenaline kick. And I disagree with it. And obviously, people who pay to see movies disagree with him. And my mind is blown that this guy can just be so fucking self-absorbed that he could have these ideas, alright?
Put in this reference every 35 seconds, and then Peach gets kidnapped, the same story as the games, the same story everyone already knows. So they save the day at the end, Bowser gets defeated. Just, you didn't have to make this movie to tell this story. This is just like the most sorry excuse for an adaptation. But I mean, okay,
they had to make it to make money.
My response to that is
Okay, so yeah, you didn't have to make the movie. People love the movie. People made money. Everyone is happy except for the critics, because the critics see that this movie wasn't made for them, and they are shitting their pants, okay? And they gave in a bit, you know. They started off with 40% rating, and then they bumped it up to 60% when they saw how out of touch they were. but they're seizing because they hate that people pay money to have a good time. They wanna get their stupid subversive messages in, like tell whole storylines that don't make any sense. They want huge risks. And people just want to grill, okay? They just want to watch a Mario movie or whatever else. They're even fine with a Star Wars movie. Critics hate it, but it happens. Detective Pikachu is good. Let's see what he says about that one.
I liked Detective Pikachu.
Detective Pikachu, I thought, was good in the first half and really fell off in the second half.
I was arguing because like I was the massive hater coming out of the movie. I immediately made it. I was like, everyone was like, I liked it. I was like, I did not.
So perfect. This meme is perfect. Yeah, he knows it. You know, he's not like a sniffling coward like YMS, where it's just like, yeah, you know, I'm calling you babies, you know, but if you're offended, that's your problem. This guy fucking knows how toxic he is. He knows that he's radioactive goo, you know, and he's out there. He's having a good time. Okay, I respect it to some extent. Okay, he's just never happy, and we gotta know. He's gotta tell everyone how much he hates when we have fun. I love that, okay? This is why this video had to be made. This is the perfect trilogy of me responding to Super Mario haters, because this is... We had all of the archetypes, you know? We had the people who are just... Some people just get offended because of politics. That was the first video. And YMS, he got offended because people complained on Twitter. You know, he just couldn't have it that they just delivered like what they said they would, you know. They just made the movie and it has stuff in it that pleases people. It doesn't have anything that pleases critics, you know. If he was a food critic, he would only accept either perfect gourmet meals or he would eat literal shit. It's basically like the menu, okay? He's basically like the guy who decided, my life is so boring, I would rather die just to get a chance of eating on the island where the guy prepares the menu, okay? He knew he was gonna... Spoiler alert. He knew he was gonna die on that island, and he went there. He brought a girl along to die with him. Didn't tell her, fucking asshole. And he just cares so much about the perfect meal, you know? He would either have complete shit or he would have the perfect meal. Like, I mean, like, he would eat... Like, dying is probably pretty shit, you know? So he would take dying if he just gets that perfect meal. Like, he would burn down everything that is normal and functional just so he could have that one last adrenaline hit of getting, like, exactly what he wants. And that's EmpLemon. And that's why I had to react to this. Let's see if there's anything else he has to say. I mean, obviously the Detective Pikachu movie was a great movie, but you know what else was great? The Pokemon anime, where it's just Ash's journey to find the perfect Pokemon. And it just has all of the Pokemon in it, you know, and it was still good, you know? We can have both of these things, you know? Did he say that he hated Detective Pikachu and he only learned to love it later? Did I get that right?
And I told them, like, Detective Pikachu was much better. And they're like, no, Detective Pikachu sucks. I was like, no, Detective Pikachu did something at least different from, like, what's presented in the mainline Pokemon games.
Yeah.
I would have... It was much better than if it was just like, oh, I'm Ash, I'm Red, I gotta go through and defeat all the 8 gyms and defeat the rivals. Like, we already know this story.
Yeah, we already saw the anime.
It does not need to be adapted. You're just, like... You're presenting what's already there in the game, but with, like, shiny 3D graphics. I actually like Detective Pikachu because they told a unique story, and it wasn't the best.
I mean, yeah. I mean, you could have both of those things, like I said. It's just, you just have to see what the audiences like better, because it is for the audiences, it is not for the critics. Like, Detective Pikachu isn't gonna beat the Super Mario movie. It hasn't beat it. It probably didn't make nearly as much money. And, like, even, like, Kino knows too. Like, they took risks, but it didn't pay off that well. Like, there was a lot of dumb shit in that movie too, I think. I don't remember off the top of my head. Maybe it was a perfect masterpiece, but probably not, you know? There's probably some dumb shit in the movie, for sure.
Film. It wasn't the most memorable, and it was still, like, kind of a by-the-numbers, basic thing, but they told a different story, at the very least. And the art direction was different.
Yeah.
than what you'd expect from the Pokemon games.
Yeah, my big gripe with Detective Pikachu, I thought it started off really strong, like the noir atmosphere and how it integrated Pokemon into like a kind of almost cyberpunky vibe. But then in the second half, it becomes basically a Marvel movie.
Yeah.
But it still has more creativity than like a lot of these video game adaptations.
It took risks.
Yeah.
It did. And maybe that's why it was generally disliked, and why they're probably not going to make another one, and why they're just going to make 10 more Mario movies, because they played it safe. They played it safe to put in the references and get the 96% audience score, and it's probably made $1 billion by now, more than Detective Pikachu, more than the Sonic movie, and they're just going to make 1 million more of them. So.
Yeah.
I mean, the Sonic movie was as good as it can be, but it also pretty much told the story of the games, as I think. You know, like it was a little edgy at first, you know, like where he's just such a sad little Sonic, you know. But it adheres to the source material. It was good, but it wasn't. You know, maybe the Sonic movie could have been better. Okay, maybe if Sonic like was as powerful a franchise, and it like the Sonic games are just pure garbage. So that's probably why they could take risks, you know. But you normally don't want to take risks. Like, why would you risk things? Like, just think about it. Like, you could lose it all. That's a risk. Like, why do you think that's desirable? It's not. Like, you could have some subversive elements in a story and not take any risks, and that's probably a good way to go. But if you're just gonna go all out with risks, that's just a bad idea, you know? Like, 9 out of 10 times, it'll not pay off. Like, you'll piss off some people if you don't take any risks. The only people you're going to piss off is critics, and that's okay with me.
So get ready.
They got what they wanted.
Strap
I
in.
didn't. Everyone else did, but I have the right. I have the right to sit here and be a hater and tell you that this is not okay. It's not okay to be passable, to be mediocre. I don't like it. I'd rather a totally crappy movie that fails in execution, but at least they had an idea of something interesting to go than just like complete corporate sludge that just takes me through the It's a Small World ride, a completely controlled, completely creatively deprived experience where the filmmakers were not allowed to take any risk whatsoever.
Well, you also have the right to not buy a ticket to the next one.
Fucking destroyed! Kino got him! But yeah, it's crazy. Like, he looks at people who obey traffic laws and he's like, oh, these suckers. He just drives by really fast and he dies horribly. He's like, yeah, these fucking suckers. These suckers just sitting in traffic, you know? Don't they know they could have gone 1,000,000 miles per hour and died horribly? The fools! Why aren't they taking any risks? Okay, probably not a great analogy, but it's so stupid. Like, oh yeah, I sure love risking watching an entirely terrible movie. Great idea. Personally, I do, because I get to talk about it. I get to make a review of it. And that's why critics like risks. It's because, oh, now we got something to talk about. But you know what? General people don't need to talk about movies the entire time. They can just watch a movie and say, ah, that was a good movie. 10 out of 10, baby.
Rant about it on a Downward
I had
Diary.
to go. I had to go so I could make this video because I wanted to make this video, but I couldn't like talk about the movie without seeing it because they were like, oh, if you want to see it, give it a chance. I gave it a chance. I gave it as many chances as I could have, and this is how I feel. This is how I feel. All you people want to complain about the.
You know, you could have given it more chances. You could have gone full Ludovico technique. Got to strap into the Mario movie, watch it 10 times. You know, maybe you would have liked it better then. Maybe you would have appreciated all the art that went into it, because it holds up. You know, and you can watch it more than once. You're not gonna get bored watching it again, because it just has things in it that aren't just the story. Okay. You can just watch the Mario movie and you know you'll have a good time. Like, normally you watch a movie more than once, it's gonna be repetitive, but I think the Mario movie will hold up, okay? I think it'll stand the test of time, and we'll come back to see how this is when there's a new era started. The Mario movie revolutionized the way we think about games and movies and everything. And he's just there, he's hating it. Just this little cretin, look at him. I get the right to hate you too. Fuck you. You think you're so much better because you're unhappy about this, you know? It's your problem, you know? If we lived on an alternative reality where everyone was evolved from shrimp, we would have shrimp movies, you know? If you want whatever appeals to shrimp, you would be great in that reality, you know? Have some shrimp movies, maybe they bang the clankers together real loud, they're pistol shrimping it up, you know? Humans wouldn't know what this shit is, you know? But you'd love it. Does that make any sense? Probably not. Probably time to end this video soon.
The critics were a hell of a lot closer than you. I will never trust the audience score on any movie, and I will sometimes trust the critics. Their judgment is better than yours. Stop pretending like you know better. Stop pretending like you're suddenly the big film buff. You're suddenly the Kino Corner over here, and your opinion matters more than these critics.
I would just say just don't trust Rotten Tomatoes because you know, have you looked at the you know, who's the verified critics on Rotten Tomatoes? I mean, Doug Walker's on there.
Doug Walker, he gave the Mario movie a good review.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, Doug Walker, hero of the people, I guess. I don't know, I hate him. I can't stand his content. I guess I really need to find one where he's really wrong on and then just make a video about him. That'd probably be great. Okay, I bet it would be great. I would cringe to death and it would be the best content.
People like Doug Walker are the people preventing this movie from getting the critic score that it should have, that it deserves.
Yeah, you know, you're definitely a critic too, you know? Like, if you're making videos about movies, you're a critic. Like, sorry. You're just biased because you're in an in-group.
Yeah, I would say just don't trust. I hate this discourse of like, oh, you see, the audience loved it, the critics hated it, the critics are so out of.
Yeah, I love that discourse. Fucking get these critics in line. Like, who are you reviewing it for if not for the audience? Like, if you're just like, you're just saying, oh, this is really cool shit. Like, you don't need to rate it that way then. Like, if you're saying, oh, this is brilliant, this is a brilliant masterpiece, even though audiences will hate it, why don't you put that into your review? Like, why don't you make the review like whatever out of 10 so that it applies to audiences, and then you just say whatever you think critics think about it, put that in the review, but don't make it the score. That would be my solution. And I will keep dunking on these fucking critics until they get it right.
The touch, or it's like the critics love it and the audience hate it. It's like, that doesn't even mean anything. This is like people's subjective experience.
Now it means something. They're two distinct groups of people. They have very distinct opinions. It's actually really remarkable how much of a difference there is, you know? Just the concept. I mean, he gets into this later. Just the concept that people who watch a lot of movies get bored easily is very interesting, because that's what critics have in common. They've watched a lot of movies and they've analyzed it to death, and now they don't like things that are mediocre, I guess. But audiences are fine with mediocre things.
Is about this. And yeah, critics generally...
That's my argument. The critics get stuff wrong all the time, but they're a hell of a lot closer to the truth than any of you bozos out there.
Bozos!
Well, it's also like, it's the difference between people who've seen like tons of movies and probably have a good background and maybe have studied film.
They
and
know
then
the basic elements required for good filmmaking, which obviously the Mario viewers do not.
I mean, like, you're basically wrong. Like, the basics of filmmaking should be how to make a movie that sells. Like, that would be... Like, imagine that. Oh, the basics of car making is making a car that doesn't drive well. Wow, cool. The basics of building a house is building a crazy futuristic looking house that nobody wants to live in. Brilliant!
Well, I mean, I think that a lot of the Mario viewers just haven't seen that many movies. And you'd be surprised. Like, I know a lot of people that have been like, maybe I've seen 100 movies in my whole life. And then they'll say, like, but I know a good movie when I see one. And I'm like, okay, well, if you haven't really seen that many, like, you're obviously, your world is not very large.
I mean, they probably saw a lot of other things. Like, they probably listened to the radio and everything. Like, I think if you're watching so many movies that it makes it so that you can't enjoy movies, then there's something wrong with you, okay? Not the people who enjoy movies.
Okay, hanging out with Kino Corner. I'm getting exposed to more Kino. My taste is imperfect still. but it's a hell of a lot better.
Oh,
than
my
these
taste
people-
is weird.
Yeah, he watches movies where people eat like shit and then they talk about how they ate shit, and it's so fucking boring. Oh my god. You know, I don't know. Like, he's got some good ideas sometimes. Like, the Postal movie we agree on, that one's a masterpiece, okay? That's probably the best video game movie. You should have mentioned that one again. Like, the Postal is just a flawless video game movie. It perfectly adheres to the game and the game's sense of comedy. And it takes a game that's not very well known, and it just makes it perfect. So that one's good, okay? But that formula probably wouldn't work too well for the Mario movie. But who knows? Okay, Uwe Boll could possibly make the best Mario movie ever. It's not impossible. Okay, whatever. Let's go.
I like, and I'll,
No, but you
I'll
and I
admit that.
generally agree on which
Yeah.
movies are good.
Yeah,
and
we
which
generally
aren't.
agree. Yeah,
So there must be something to that.
yeah.
And I would definitely rather watch Gummo 100 times than that awful, just complete deprivation of imagination.
Yeah, I haven't seen Gummo in a while. I remember it being alright. I don't know. Whatever.
That was on display in that Mario.
I mean, it's probably like Gummo doesn't really like rival Mario movie. Like, you can have your stupid edgy indie movies. I don't know. Whatever.
The movie.
Yeah, I know. I've seen the Mario movie once. I've seen the Gummo movie more.
I mean, you have indie games too. Like, maybe you should have indie game movies, huh? Maybe that'd be perfect.
More than once, so that says everything, I think.
And if you're interested in my thoughts on Gummo, which I
Nope.
watched last night, all you Mario-loving Nintendo fanboys, you can get mad. It won't even be close to the amount of hostility I felt watching your piece of crap movie in that theater.
So invest in GameStop and buy Funko Pop.
Ah, Jesus. So, yeah, I mean, like, I hate this whole idea of how these guys think about movies in a way, you know? Well, back in the day, there was a time where I watched, I think I rewatched Prison Break, and I told it on the Kino chat, the Kino podcast chat. I was like, yeah, I watched Prison Break again. It was pretty fun. I binged the whole show, and he was like, have you seen Breaking Bad? Like, why are you watching Prison Break? Do you know that Breaking Bad exists? What the fuck are you talking about? It's not even remotely comparable. Prison Break is a beautiful masterpiece too, okay? You can't take that. You're talking fucking nonsense. You just... What do you want to do? Do you want to have a Hunger Games of movies? Do you want to have... What's that one? But no, Hunger Games is the one where only one can survive. That's perfect. Do you want to have all... Do you want to throw all the movies that aren't like 10 out of 10 away? Do you want the movies to have to fight to the death and only the 10 out of 10 can survive? And nobody's allowed to watch the fucking 9s or the 8s or the 7s anymore? Nope, they're all gone. They all had to die. We had to sacrifice them. Ah! So the critics can eat. The critics can only eat when there's only 10 out of 10 movies. How is that even possible? You like weird shit, and then you're like, oh yeah, you watch only Breaking Bad. That's the only series that you're supposed to rewatch. Fucking stupid. We have a Breaking Bad podcast, by the way, without Kino, actually. Watch that one too, I guess. So anyways, yeah. Mumpkey told me to do this video, and I did it, so blame him. If you're an EmpLemon sycophant, blame the Mumpkey. He says itself, yeah, you like Mario movie, you must have monkey brain. That's right, I guess I got monkey brain. I got the brain of the monkey.
This is not financial advice. Just if you're really coy, that's what you'll do.
Invest in Illumination, invest in Disney, invest...
Hell yeah, you can bet your ass that stock's gonna do well. I actually did invest in Disney, thanks. I gotta look if Little Mermaid did well. I like Little Mermaid, the remake. That's probably the next video, is me reacting to Critical Drinker crying about Little Mermaid. That's gonna be a good time. Get hyped for that one, baby.
Hey, Illumination is a French studio, so technically Mario is French new wave animation.
It's a new wave.
True, based Mario. I actually didn't know that they were French, so that's kind of shocking. Actually, maybe I should rethink everything. I think French. Oh Jesus. Well, I guess you got good French and you got bad French, and bad French is when they have subtitles. Good French is when they make their movies in English. Take that, Frenchies. Okay, so upon rethinking it, you know, the fact that Illumination is French, I'm sorry, it needs to go, okay? We rolled out an update patch and we have removed France. You know, the developers have made this choice, so I guess Illumination is now gone. That's too bad. I love this fucking account, this is hilarious. Just patch notes for the Earth. They removed France and they moved Spain closer to... This seems like a nice map. I wish you could just drive to Spain. Oh, this is 40 minutes long, great. Well, good luck editing this. Bye everyone.